A bevy of heavyweight titles get unified this Saturday when IBF and WBA champion Anthony Joshua takes on WBO champ Joseph Parker in Cardiff, Wales. Both men are young, unbeaten, and have a history of brutal knockouts, making this an A matchup. Related Joshua vs. Parker weigh-in video results from Wales. The card will also see WBA bantamweight champ Ryan Burnett defend his title against Yanfres Parejo, and Alexander Povetkin demolish David Price. I know that sounds premature if you don't know who those guys are, but trust me on this. The big deal is, of course, the main event, so let's have a look. Name: Anthony Joshua. Age: 28. Record: 20-0, 20. Last 5 fights: Carlos Takam, TKO 10, Vladimir Klitschko, TKO 11, Eric Moina, TKO 3, Dominic Brazil, TKO 7, Charles Martin, KO 2. Significant victories, other than those mentioned above: Dillian Whyte vs. Name: Joseph Parker. Age: 26. Record: 24-0, 18. Last 5 fights: Hughie Fury, MD, Razvan Kojanu, UD, Andy Ruiz Jr., MD, Alexander Dmitrenko, KO 3, Solomon Halmono, TKO 4. Significant victories, other than those mentioned above: Carlos Takam. The fight. It's certainly been interesting to watch these two develop as their respective countries' great hopes. Joshua, who won gold in the 2012 Olympics, had everything he needed to be a superstar: mind-numbing power, a jaw-dropping physique, and a strong pedigree behind him. Still, Britain's previous heavyweight gold medalist, Audley Harrison, had flamed out in spectacular fashion, so success was no guarantee. After disposing of rival Dillian Whyte, Joshua smashed Charles Martin for the IBF title and defended it against the overmatched Dominic Brazil and Eric Molina before stepping up to face the great Vladimir Klitschko. Joshua showed his durability, cardio, and power by surviving Klitschko's vaunted right hand and ultimately finishing him in the 11th. A subsequent win over Carlos Takam wasn't near as impressive, but Joshua had thoroughly proved that he was no fraud. Parker, meanwhile, is New Zealand's greatest boxing export since David Tua and looked to have some of Tuamen's destructive potential early in his career, thrashing most comers with speed and fluidity one would not expect from a man his size. Once he entered the world stage, however, things got a bit dicey. He barely defeated Andy Ruiz Jr. for his belt, looked mediocre against glorified sparring partner Razvan Kojanu, and struggled mightily against Hughie Fury last September. You can probably tell who I think is going to win. It just doesn't look like Parker's power works against the elite, and while Joshua isn't a masterful technician, he can at least hold his own enough for his power to come into play. Joshua also has the more proven chin and carries his power late, meaning Parker cannot afford to slow down as the fight progresses. The persistent threat of Joshua's destructive capabilities and Parker's inability to impress against higher-level opposition have me leaning the Brits' way. Joshua starches him late and sets up a blockbuster showdown with Deontay Wilder later this year. Prediction: Joshua by 8th round knockout.